I'm in my kitchen today, and I've come with different products to talk about. What I'm talking about today is masking tape. I know some of you have seen my videos and that I use masking tape in my garden, and I absolutely love it, and I use it for my tomatoes, and now I'm using it for my kale and peppers and everything. So I wanted to go over products. I'm not endorsing any products, just so you know that. I'm just showing the different products. Let's start from the bottom. If you want to start from the bottom, here's the bottom. This was masking tape I've been using in my yard. This is something Gary had in his garage, and it's over 10 years old. It could be even older. He said he hasn't used masking tape in a long time. See how there's really very little stick to it? Now it works. It does work. I mean, it's interesting, the tape says you shouldn't use it over 250 degrees. I don't know what would happen after that. But as far as taping up, you know, something like stems and stuff in the yard, it's great. Once it's stuck to itself, it's pretty good. Look at that. You can't even get it off. So you have to literally tear it. So it's been working, but it was a little wide. Now, as far as tomato plants, sometimes wide is good, because you think of the tomato plant, and then let's say you want to wrap it on either itself, on another part of the tomato plant, or on a stick, or on any stake you've got. When you, I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can. When you put on the masking tape on a tomato plant, you think it's almost as thick as your finger, a lot of it. It's supporting the entire branch. I used to stake them up with wire, and it was so irritating because I put either a twisty or garden wire, or even that little tiny strips of garden tape. And sometimes I would go to stake it, and you had to use, like, you need 3 hands because it's so hard, and it would snap. It would bend over and break and snap. With the masking tape, it actually supports the stem. So when you wrap it around, whatever you're wrapping it around, you've got a good inch or more, depending on how wide your tape is, supporting that big part of the branch. When I mask up my tomato plants, so far I have not broken any, and I used to break them all the time with the wire. So I really like masking tape. Plus I used to carry wire around, and you needed a whole bunch of wire, and you had to twist it around. This is like, you keep this in your pocket. My shirt doesn't have a pocket. Some of my shirts have pockets I make. And you just keep it in your pocket. You see something that needs some support, you just grab out your tape. It's so cheap. I don't know what this costs, but probably not much. But today, I went to a dollar store and a Dollar Plus store, and they've got their own tape. I haven't even tried this yet. I'm going to try it in the garden and give you reports on how it works. It's narrower. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch. See, it's kind of pulls away really easy. So I'm not sure. I'm going to guess it's going to work fine, because, you know, you can take off a teeny piece or take off a big piece and then just, watch my get my finger taped up where I can't get it off. And once it goes on itself, you know, it should hold pretty good, and you can, and you can always put one piece on as you start working, and then once it's supported up, you can just tear off another piece. So you can put a couple pieces on while you're working in the garden. And if you go back the next day, or usually not the next day, a few days later, because the plant's growing, if you have to add on another piece, you have to add on another piece. But you know, I think this is going to do the job. So that is $1 to $1.50. All right, now we got a little bit more money. This is made by the 3M company, Scotch. I know Scotch is going to be good. Of course, I've got to open it to try it. But Scotch should be really, really good. That's a good brand. There's a lot of really good brands. This is a better brand. Maybe I should have opened this up before I started. But this is called a heavy adhesive. I believe that's what it said on it. Of course, I just tore the wrapper. Oh, here it is. Yes, this one's called a high adhesive. And so the other ones may not be quite as high. I don't know what this one said. I believe this one said medium adhesive on it. That was the thinner one. So it should do the job. But you know, if you're going to start using a lot of masking tape in the garden, real quick, let me go back. Back. This cost me less than $5, I believe. Let's just say $5. This was at Lowe's. Home Depot will have it too. Probably everybody else will have it too. 2 rolls. So let's just say for $5. I think it was less than $5, but 2 rolls. So you're getting 2 rolls, and this is going to last you all season, unless you have a big garden. So then you can afford, with that much of a garden, to get another roll. But this is 2 rolls, so it's like $2.50 a roll. Now this should be really good if I can ever find the end, and I cannot. That's cute. Oh, there it is. I know, I should be wearing glasses. I don't really need glasses that much, a little bit. The glasses I wear from the 99-cent store. Oh, this is really strong. Oh, this is going to be strong. This is the winner as far as I'm concerned, because this is strong to pull off. And masking tape is fabulous. Oh, look at that. Once it sticks, it wants to stick. I'm going to say it's worth investing and getting a good brand such as 3M, from the Scotch tape masking tape company. It's actually Scotch tape company. I would get Scotch or 3M. Just get a good brand. I mean, there's probably plenty of other good brands, but this I can tell you right now, I'm opening this up live with you guys because I have not even opened it. It's strong, and once this thing sticks to itself, it's not going anywhere. Masking tape is so good because once it dries out, which is the fault of using this tape, you can't get it off. For the garden, that's perfect. Because once you get that wrapped around, I don't want to wrap it around my finger where I can't get it off. Once you wrap it around your finger or your plant and it sticks and it dries out from the sun, it's not coming off. Water's not taking it off. Nothing's taking it off. This glue just adheres and seals up. Yes, it might come off once in a while. It depends on your area. Everybody's climate is different. I'm having great luck here in Southern California with it. Like I said, it's so cheap. You're maintaining your garden anyways as you walk through. If you need to add a little more tape, go ahead and add a little more tape. This roll is going to last you all season. And with this package, I got 2 I can't say 2 for the price of 1, but that's how they sold it. In fact, they had an economy package that had like 10 rolls in it, but I figured I wouldn't go through it, and I'll end up with a 10-year-old roll in the garage like this one. So I went with 2 and see how I use it, and I think this is really the winner. Now, if you want your garden to look pretty, you put this here so you can see that still. Frog tape. Not a bad price. I paid like $6 for it. If you cannot stand the look of this tape and you want it to look pretty, I went ahead and I'm going to test out frog tape. I'm even too cheap to use this for when I'm painting. But I figured, you know what? You get 1 roll for about $6. And it is pretty. It is like all the other masking tapes. Frog tells you, I have contacted them, it is non-toxic. I have done a lot of research on tape. Some people were worried. You know, the only research I have found where there was a problem, it's such an odd problem, is there must have been rabbit breeders or people using masking tape. Maybe they were, I don't know what they were masking tape. Maybe they were taping things together and giving it to the rabbits, and they had a problem with their pet rabbits eating masking tape. And it wasn't that it was toxic, but it could bind their intestines as it's going through if they ate too much tape. So it's not edible is what it is. You don't want to eat it. There's a lot of things that will bind people up. There's certain food that will bind people up. That was the only warning I had found on plain masking tape. So as far as being non-toxic, it is safe. You can, I had a teacher in grammar school that used to use masking tape when I was a kid, tape up my mouth because she said I talked too much. Absolutely adored that teacher though. But she would bring a roll of masking tape and she would tape up my mouth and tell me to shut it, is what she used to say. I just was like, what can you say? I was what? 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. So anyways, it was non-toxic when I was growing up. I'm pretty sure it is. No, it is. I looked it up. It's non-toxic. But again, if you want something to look pretty, here is frog tape. It's green. It's pretty much the same color as your tomato plants. It won't look bad. I don't know if it's going to last as good as a good masking tape like the 3M, the Scotch. I'm going to test it in the garden and try it. But the other thing too is a lot of people want to use their wire, they want to use their twine, and they want to use yarn, and that's fine. Sometimes it's hard to lift up that branch and try to put it up where you want it with string, because you're trying to tie the string and the branch wants to bend over. And like I said, I have snapped more branches on tomato plants because if they're watered well, they'll just snap. They're just so full of water and they're so alive, but they don't bend real good and they can't snap. So sometimes using string and wire, you'll find they'll snap. I was using the plastic pinchers that you could pinch and it would go around your plants. And the problem I was having with those is they lasted about a year, and there was a few of them that scared me. When I went to unpinch it off to use it somewhere else, they snapped and I was afraid it would break and shoot into your eye. So if you're not wearing sunglasses and you have a piece of plastic off a plastic pincher break off, that can happen. So you got to be careful on that because those become really brittle. With this, it's just going to break away in the garden and you just have to add more as it goes. The plant's growing. So you're going to have to stake it anyways. Hopefully your plant just keeps growing and growing and growing. And somebody asked me, they came in with a good question, do I cut the suckers off my tomato plants? No, I don't. Sometimes I cut them off because I put the nice suckers that come out from the leaves. Sometimes I put them in a glass jar and I root them and replant them. That's really good. If you have a tomato plant you like, do that. And sometimes I leave them and I'll just keep staking. And so if there's a plant that comes up this way and then there's another plant, I'll just put another stake in the ground and stake it up. And you end up with tomatoes all over the place. And before I wasn't trimming them off and they ended up all over the ground and I had tomatoes just everywhere all over the ground, but I'm staking now. When I started using that, this changed my life because it's fun. It's fun, it's cheap. I get to direct the plant where I want it to go. It supports the plant because it's not a thin little piece of wire that's holding an entire plant up. It's actually got a good inch, so it's giving the plant really good support. And generally it lasts pretty good because if you leave one of these outside, which I have done in the past, and you forget about it, this thing becomes a brick. That glue adheres to itself on the tape and it's solid. Well, that's kind of what's going on in your garden as you're working with it. But like I said, again, if it comes and then if it comes loose, you just add it on. Every time you peel it and do this, the glue is coming off, so you really, you want to make sure you peel it and use it. Little bits could be left and you'll weaken the tape. Like any tape, you'll weaken it. So you want to just pull it off and tape it on. But you can use multiple layers. I should have brought a plant in. You can wrap it around and put it around the plant, and if you're not happy with the way you did it, go back and do it again. And then so you have a couple pieces there. I mean, it's cheap. It's not going to cost you anything. Just really... Okay, now I got tape stuck to my finger. All right, we'll take it off after it's not coming off. No, it's not coming. I can tear it. It's paper. I'm going to have to tear it. See, it's paper. So anyways, I really think it's worth a try. You don't like the color, go ahead and if you want, try the frog tape. I'm not endorsing them. The only thing is, this is the only green masking tape I can find. I found other colors. There's blue. But then, why would you want to put blue in your garden? You might as well at that point put this. I'm going to try this. It's got a medium adhesive on this, so I think it should work. You know, if it doesn't work as good, the other thing you can do is you could actually start with the regular tape, and then you can always come back with the frog, and there you've got it. Oh, that makes a good Band-Aid. But anyways, you could do it that way too. If you think it's not quite as strong as the other one as you're working with it, you know, then you can mix and match. If you have an area where it's going to stand out, do it that way. Put this on first and then put the green on top if you don't want to look at the beige color. So maybe that's it for today. I could go into the yard. We can go into the yard and try it out, see how it works. And let's see what's going on out there, and I'll show you what the green looks like versus this. Let's go out in the garden. Now we're in the garden, and I wanted to show you my masking tape. There is the beige masking tape. See, right there. It's doing a great job. It's been up for almost 2 weeks. And then I wanted to have you see the frog masking tape, which is here. The only difference between the frog and the regular masking tape is looks. If you prefer that look, then go ahead and get the green. Like I said, it's maybe double, triple more than the other one. It doesn't really matter. Either one will work. Let me show you this. I had my tomato plant tied up with string, and that already fell down. But the masking tape did not. And that did not have any masking tape on it. I am crazy about masking tape. This has changed my whole world. In fact, not only mine, but Gary is staking up everything. He is, all his plants, he's doing berries and all kinds of stuff he's going to show you. This is just amazing what it has done. I mean, look at this. 2 weeks ago, I've been using masking tape even all, you know, last year. I never really thought about it. I just would grab it once in a while and use it, and it stuck on, and now I really need to share it with all of you. Look at all the masking tape. Look what I can do. Now, I know people are going to say, what the heck is this lady doing? She's supposed to be cutting off these suckers. Yeah, some people do. They string it up and they trim off the suckers. I don't. See what the suckers are growing. They take off and grow everywhere. I stick another stake in the ground and tape them up, and up they'll go. I mean, they're full of flowers. They're going to grow tomatoes. I don't need to cut them off. I like it like this. If it looks a little wild and bushy, that's fine. And let me swing over here really quick. And over here, I've taken some cuttings. I don't know if they've rooted yet. Let's see. No, well, no, not yet. A lot of those will start to root, and then I can take those side shoots and stick them in the ground. But there's the masking tape. Yeah, I'm crazy about it. You really have to try it. I wish I had stock in masking tape. No, really, when people start using this, they're going to go wild with it. Uh-oh. What did she do here? Yep. These are my solar pumps here, running and working. And yes, I even use the frog green masking tape to hold the solar panels in place on my stakes. Okay, I admit, I thought the green looked nicer than the beige here. So yes, I used the green. But with that, I wanted to come out in the garden and show you how everything is going. You really need to. You can stake everything. You can stake your berries. You could stake up, your collard plants and kale. Once they're trained and they're going up, like your collards and kale, it doesn't matter if the tape, you know, it grows, busts off as the plant grows, because the plant's already going in an upward direction or the direction you want. And if worse comes to worse, you add a little more tape. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I just love it. It's amazing what the tape is doing. So I just wanted to come out here and let you know how everything's going. Like I said, just make sure when you wrap it that you go around a couple times. That's all. Just make sure the tape is sticking to itself. It doesn't matter if you want to go 1, 2, or 3 times. The more the better. And it's so easy. You do it with one hand. This plant looks amazing. This was a plant that literally I was going to remove. This is last year's plant. It looked terrible. I picked it up off the ground, put in some stakes, and I started staking it, and there was so much of it. And look at this. It's massive. And since I staked it 2 weeks ago, this thing has just taken off. So I have decided this will not be going out. I don't care if the plant's over a year old. It will be staying. So go to your hardware store. My personal opinion is, yes, you can get it at any of the big box hardware stores or any store. I prefer, as far as the stickiness of it and the hold, I like the tape you get at the hardware store made by Scotch or 3M. My opinion only, because that one really holds good. It's got a good tack to it. It sticks to itself very, very good. Frog is a little bit lighter because it's meant to come off, but it's doing fine. The frog tape is doing fine too. The tape that you get at the dollar stores, you know, it's so cheap that you will have to go around a few times. The tackiness is not as good. That again is my opinion. Try yours. Maybe you'll end up with a better one, but it wasn't as tacky as the way I liked it. But I'm still using it. I bought it. I'm going to use it. You can always use it to start with and then go over with frog tape. Like I said, if you want to tape it up, use the cheap tape and then put the frog tape on it. If you want it to be green, like I did on my solar. So it's whatever is the way you want to do it. There's no right or wrong in this. We all do what's easier for you. You may not like this at all. I have no problems with that. Everybody finds their own niche, and this has just been amazing. And I'm going to have more tomatoes this year and more plants staked up where I want them to go than ever before. Because now I'm just gung-ho. I carry it with me and it's great. I have a bread box in my garden that I keep my tools in, and I keep masking tape in my bread box too. So with that, have a great day. Go get some masking tape. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Let's see, I need that. I've got my tape. And then I can cut the tape apart with this. And I'll slice the tape. Yeah, I can slice the tape with this. What else do I need? I can't think of anything. I think I've got everything here. What do you think, guys? Do I have everything here? Oh, maybe be careful with the knife.